And the village effect, how empathy transforms communities. When I first met Larena Bryant, I was struck by something rare in today's world, an authentic wisdom that comes not from social media followers or best selling books, but from years of witnessing both human connection and isolation in their rawest forms. We're not meant to do this life alone, she told me, her voice carrying a quiet certainty that made the hair on my arm stand up. In a world obsessed with individual achievement, Lorena's work stands as a powerful counterpoint. She has dedicated her life to creating spaces where people can be fully seen and heard, not just physically present, but emotionally connected. Her community initiatives have transformed thousands of lives, one conversation at a time. And today I want to share what she's taught me about the revolutionary power of empathy. Have you ever felt alone in a crowded room? That strange, almost surreal experience of being surrounded by people, yet feeling completely invisible? I certainly have. And research suggests you probably have too. We live in the most connected era in human history. Our phones buzz constantly, our calendars overflow with commitments, our social media feeds never stop updating. Yet somehow, loneliness has become a public health crisis. Nearly half of Americans report feeling lonely on a regular basis, not just alone, but deeply, profoundly disconnected. It's almost comical, isn't it? We've created incredible technology to connect us across vast distances, yet we can't seem to bridge the tiny gap between two people standing side by side. We've mastered the art of being alone together. The question isn't whether we're around people, the question is whether we truly see each other. This is what Larena Bryant's work illuminates so brilliantly. Through her community initiatives, she's demonstrated that the antidote to our disconnection isn't more superficial interaction, it's deeper understanding, it's empathy. Empathy, that ability to understand and share the feelings of another, sounds simple enough. But in practice, it's revolutionary and increasingly rare. When I asked Lorena what she believed was the foundation of thriving communities, she didn't hesitate. Empathy is essential for true community. We might share similar backgrounds or experiences, but each of us internalizes and processes these moments differently. Without empathy, we're just people occupying the same space. Let me share a powerful example from our conversation. The Black Women's Health Imperative was founded in the face of systemic healthcare disparities that were quite literally killing women. But the founders didn't just identify a problem, they built a solution rooted in empathy. For decades, Black women faced not only inadequate health care, but also the stigma around vulnerability that prevented many from seeking help. The isolation was devastating. But BPI founders like Billy Avery had a vision: create safe spaces where women could share their stories without fear of judgment. What happened next was remarkable. Women who had suffered in silence for years finally found their voices. They shared experiences of being dismissed by doctors, of having their pain minimized, of feeling invisible in healthcare settings. But they also shared strategies, resources, and hope. The results? Participants reported improved mental health, stronger bonds with peers, and a greater willingness to seek help when needed. What began as small support groups expanded nationwide, influencing policy changes around maternal health equity and inspiring similar models across other marginalized groups. But here's what's truly fascinating: the success wasn't just about shared identity, it was about honoring individual journeys within that shared experience. It was empathy in action. As Lorena explained to me, When we recognize that someone can look like us, come from where we come from, and still have a completely different internal experience, that's when real connection happens. This brings me to the second insight from our conversation. We thrive when we lean on our villages. The African proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child," has become something of a cliche. But cliches become cliches because they contain truth. The village, that network of support, that community of care, isn't just nice to have, it's essential for our survival and flourishing. President Obama recognized this when he launched My Brother's Keeper Alliance in 2014. This initiative supports boys and young men of color through mentorship networks built on mutual respect rather than competition or criticism. Many of these young men had grown up surrounded by negative stereotypes and lacked visible role models who could help them envision success paths tailored uniquely for them. The isolation wasn't just emotional, it was aspirational. The solution? Create mentorship programs focus on listening first, honoring each mentee's unique story while fostering shared growth opportunities. The outcomes have been extraordinary: increased graduation rates, reduced disciplinary actions in participating districts, and mentees reporting higher self confidence due largely to feeling seen and heard as individuals within the group context. Over 250 communities engaged nationwide, significant academic and social gains documented among participants. A movement that proved thriving villages are those where diversity within similarity is honored. No one is meant to go through life alone, Larena emphasized during our interview. Embracing the power of community enables us to support one another through challenges and celebrate successes together. By coming together with compassion rather than judgment, we uplift everyone. But here's where things get complicated. Sometimes the greatest barrier to building these empathetic communities comes from within. This leads to the third insight from my conversation with Larena. Self sabotage through judgment hurts us all. Have you ever caught yourself looking down on someone because they're not where you think they should be? Maybe it's the colleague who hasn't advanced as quickly as you, the friend who's still struggling with issues you've overcome, the family member making choices you wouldn't make. That judgment, that subtle feeling of superiority, feels momentarily good. It validates our own choices, but it creates division and isolation, not just for them, but for ourselves as well. Dr. Joy Harden Bradford saw this firsthand when she founded Therapy for Black Girls in 2014. As a therapist, she recognized the need for culturally competent mental health resources specifically tailored toward Black women and girls, a digital village. The challenge wasn't just external stigma around therapy, it was also the judgment within communities that kept many from seeking help. Few therapists understood the intersectional experiences unique to this demographic, leading some to initially doubt that online forums or groups would work at all. Dr. Bradford's solution was revolutionary in its simplicity. Develop podcasts, forums, and resources centering empathy, your story matters, over advice giving or judgmental attitudes. She encouraged peer to peer validation alongside professional guidance, celebrating both shared struggle and individuality. The result? Explosive growth with over 5 million downloads. Thousands credit the platform with helping them start therapy and build new friendships rooted not just in similarity, but in mutual compassion and respect. As Larena put it, Replacing judgment with curiosity and support transforms relationships and helps everyone move forward. This is the paradox at the heart of community building. True belonging requires both similarity and difference. We connect through our shared experiences, but we grow through our diverse perspectives. Think about the most meaningful communities in your life. They likely provide both comfort and challenge, both acceptance and growth, both Me Too moments. And I never thought of it that way. Revelations. This balance is delicate and it requires intentional cultivation. So, how do we build these empathetic villages in our own lives? How do we move from judgment to curiosity, from isolation to connection? Lorena shared three practical steps during our interview. First, practice deep listening, not the kind where you're formulating your response while someone else is speaking, the kind where you're truly present, truly curious about another person's experience. Second, honor individual journeys. Recognize that people can share your background, your race, your gender, your faith, and still have completely different internal experiences and needs. Third, be vulnerable enough to ask for help. The strongest villages are those where everyone both gives and receives support. As Lorena said, vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the courage to be seen as you truly are. These steps sound simple, but they require something profound: a willingness to set aside our ego, our judgment, our need to be right or superior. When I reflect on the initiatives Lorena shared, from the Black Women's Health Imperative to my brother's Keeper Alliance to therapy for Black girls, I see a common thread. Each succeeded not by erasing differences, but by honoring them, not by enforcing sameness, but by celebrating uniqueness within community. This is the village effect, the transformative power of empathy driven communities to heal, uplift, and empower. So here's my challenge to you today: look around at your life. Where are you connected but not truly seen? Where are you seeing others but not truly connecting? Where have you allowed judgment to create distance instead of curiosity to build bridges? Because here's the truth that Larena Bryant's work has revealed: the greatest tragedy of our time isn't that we're alone, it's that we're surrounded by potential connection and still choose isolation. We have neighborhoods, but not communities, colleagues, but not collaborators, followers, but not friends. It doesn't have to be this way. Starting today, right now, you can choose empathy over judgment, vulnerability over pretense, connection over isolation. You can be the one who listens deeply when everyone else is waiting to speak. You can be the one who reaches out when someone is struggling. You can be the one who builds a village where none existed before. This isn't just about feeling good. This is about survival. This is about thriving. This is about becoming fully human in a world that too often reduces us to our productivity, our appearance, our status. The village effect begins with you, with me, with all of us choosing to see each other, truly see each other in all our complexity, all our humanity. Will you join me?